cómo puede funcionarle este homes.com a su negocio. ¿Está bien? ¿Me escuchan bien en la oficina? ¿Sí? ¿No me han perdido? Ok, perfecto. So, voy a dejar a Ashley y a Rachel para que se presenten. Ashley, Rachel, I already introduced you, but you can go ahead and get started. And then every time you feel that you need to stop, for translation, I'll be there.
Perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. So thank you, Oscar, for the opportunity. And hi, everyone that's out there. I can't see everyone's lovely faces, but nice to virtually meet you. So I'm Ashley. I'm based here in Orlando, Florida. I am with homes.com. And I also have Rachel Cruz. If you want to quickly introduce yourself.
Yes, hi. Like Ashley said, I'm Rachel Cruz. I am here with Ashley as the regional director for the state of Florida. So we're super excited to join you today and share all the great things happening at homes.com.
Tenemos aquí a Ashley, que está basada en Orlando, y tenemos a Rachel, que es la directora regional de Florida. Así que si tienen preguntas, por favor, escríbanlas en el chat o me las mandan y se las hacemos llegar. ¿Está bien? Go ahead.
Gracias.
And then thank you. Gracias. Yes. Can you see my screen, Oscar, the homes.com slide?
¿Pueden ver bien la pantalla en la oficina? Háganme así con la mano para poder saber. Sí, they can see it.
Okay, perfect. So today we're going to talk about homes.com and the membership opportunity and how that can get you more exposure, better leads, more income, and better ROI. Oscar became a member earlier this month.
Yeah, hoy van a hablar de cómo pueden tener un retorno de inversión a esta membresía de homes.com y cómo le puede añadir valor a su listing y a su mercadeo.
Perfect. So essentially here with homes.com, our parent company is CoStar Group.
La compañía matriz se llama CoStar Group.
We've been around 40 years and we're based on that principle of co-starring with an agent, never taking a commission, never taking a referral fee, and never will.
El compromiso de ellos es no tomar comisiones de los agentes, no tomar referral fee y nunca transferir ese tipo de cargo con los agentes. Llevan 40 años en la industria.
And we're, because we've been around for so long, we definitely have the capital and the company initiative and power to really put as much behind anything we do as possible to benefit you guys.
Como llevan tanto tiempo en la industria, tienen bastante dinero y recursos para poder ponernos a nosotros en la vanguardia de la industria.
So these are just some of the brands that are also owned and operated by CoStar Group.
Estos son algunas de las marcas que opera CoStar Group.
Apartments.com and LoopNet might be two that you may recognize.
Apartments.com y LoopNet son bastante conocidas en el mundo de nosotros.
And why I point those two out is they have something in common with homes.com.
Ellas tienen algo en común con homes.com.
And that is they also were purchased by CoStar but several years ago. And when they were purchased, they were not the number one site in their specialties.
Ese factor que tienen es que ellas fueron compradas por CoStar y cuando las compraron no tenían ese estatus número uno que tuvieron más.
Sorry. But present day, both LoopNet and Apartments, they are the number one site for apartments or commercial property. So Homes is on that same trajectory. It will be the number one residential site as well.
Así que la meta de CoStar con homes.com es la misma que tuvo para apartments.com y LoopNet, es convertirla en ese número uno en poco tiempo.
In fact, homes.com is the fastest growing residential site. Go ahead.
Ahora mismo es el website de mayor crecimiento para búsqueda residencial.
And what every site we operate stands on is every property for sale and lease only shows the true listing agent.
Y la parte más importante es que cada propiedad que sale a la venta o para renta solamente sale la información de su agente.
So homes.com is definitely built on this principle of your listing, your lead.
Así que el principio básico que ellos trabajan es tu listing, tu cliente.
We identified actually a problem in the home buying process, and that is we know 100% of home buyers shop online for their next house, but this process has historically worked against you guys.
El problema que ellos están tratando de resolver es que el 100% de los compradores de residencia compran en línea por su en el proceso, pero esto nos está hiriendo a nosotros más de lo que nos está ayudando.
We actually did focus groups across the country over the past, we bought homes.com 2.5 years ago. So you might want to say that part.
Ellos compraron homes.com hace 2 años y medio.
And over the past 2.5 years, we've actually been doing focus groups across the country with agents, buyers, and sellers. And so were able to share feedback on their experiences, prior models.
Ellos hicieron grupos focales de agentes, listing agent, buyer agent, rental agent para buscar su perspectiva sobre cómo ellos podían ayudar al problema real de real estate.
So I don't know, if we're not going to say, I'll play one of these videos, Oscar, but we can summarize in Spanish what I guess they say essentially.
As the listing agent, you don't get the leads anymore. Right. You're like the low man on the totem.
That's why I don't like to give it.
It used to be that you always did.
En un momento dado, cuando era el listing agent, tú recibías los leads. Ya ese no es el caso.
Zillow will not do
Zillow
that?
and Redfin,
Okay.
the same thing, have their preferred agents that they work with.
They're a brokerage.
It's
Well,
deceptive.
They compete with you.
Yeah.
They
They're
compete
competing with you
Exactly.
every deal.
So they use our listing and they compete with us using our listings.
Ellos, Zillow y Redfin, por ejemplo, son compañías que ellos tienen sus agentes preferidos, entonces usan mi listing para promover el negocio de otro agente.
So we listen to you. We are revolutionizing the way real estate online is being operated by giving you agents what you've been asking for. Essentially, it's giving you your listing, your lead back. You do not have to fight or pay to be on your listing.
Así que vas a tener tu listing de vuelta, no vas a tener que pagar para tener el lead de tu listing de vuelta.
So essentially, as I mentioned, we bought the website 2.5 years ago, tore it all down, and rebuilt it back up from the ground up on that principle.
Ellos compraron el website hace 2 años y medio, rompieron el website completo y lo rehicieron basado en ese principio.
We all know what happens if we hit contact agent here on the right with Zillow.
Aquí en la derecha tenemos un contacto de una propiedad en Zillow.
It will go to their 5 or however many preferred agents, none of which are the listing agent.
Va a ir a sus 5 o 10 agentes preferidos, ninguno de ellos va a ser el listing agent.
The buyer becomes frustrated because they are not getting a hold of the actual listing agent.
El comprador se frustra porque no habla directamente con el agente que listó la propiedad.
And then the listing agent's frustrated because they're losing their listing.
Y el listing agent está frustrado porque está perdiendo su listing.
With homes.com, it's very loud and clear that you are on your listing.
Con homes.com es bien claro que tú eres el listing agent.
Very loud and clear there. And same with realtor.com. And we're not going to have spam ads of dirt devil vacuums or anything like that. Nothing to distract from the listing agent or the listing.
Y al igual que pasa en realtor.com, adicional a eso, homes.com no tiene ads de otras cosas innecesarias que pueden estar distrayendo al cliente.
We also have an agent style directory where buyers and sellers can go find their next agent. Specifically, even on the selling side, I know some legislation has recently changed, but yes, this is a great benefit to get more listings as well.
También tienen su directorio de agentes para que las personas busquen los agentes de su área y puedan ver su historial.
So we're going to go in now to homes.com here directly, and we're going to look at homes.com together here.
Vamos a ver cómo se ve homes.com desde la perspectiva del cliente.
So I'm going to run a search for Orlando, Florida, since that's where I am. I know some of you on the call are.
Vamos a hacer una búsqueda de Orlando, Florida.
Oh, look who's there at the top.
This was not rehearsed. Esto no se
It was not.
Pero mira, el primer listing que salió cuando ella escribió en Orlando, Florida, el primer listing que salió fue el mío. The first listing that popped up was mine.
That's so cool. Que bueno.
So what Oscar and Barrett and Daniel and Hazel have all in common, and David, and the list goes on here, is they are all members.
Todos los miembros salen al principio. Eso es lo que tenemos en común.
There's Oscar again.
Ahí estoy otra vez.
Starting with this listing with Z Wang.
Comenzando con
He
T1,
or she is not a member.
él no es un miembro.
They are, however, the listing agent. So we're making sure that's known, but the members are going to sort higher with their photos.
Los miembros van a estar en la parte de arriba de la búsqueda.
So I'm going to go ahead and click into Oscar's listing. We're going to utilize him today. He became a member. It was March 1st, right? I believe it was like it was March 1st.
Also
So
uno más o menos, sí.
not even a month, almost a month.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks. So we
Mhm.
can see here's his listing, here's his information. Very clear. It's not a call center. If you call this number, you will get a hold of Oscar.
La información es muy clara. Las personas que escriban su pregunta ahí llega directamente a mí.
And this number is a unique call tracking number that actually routes to Oscar's phone. So he knows it's coming from Homes.
Y eso es un número que se mueve automáticamente solo y es único para esta propiedad y suena en mi celular.
Now we're going to see all this information about the listing, but this is really where our tagline of "We've done your homework" comes in.
Esta es la parte donde cuando Homes.com dice yo hice la tarea por ustedes, esta es la parte donde eso se materializa.
We're going to include information on the neighborhood, including videos.
Ellos van a poner información del vecindario, incluyendo videos.
Hunters Creek is a master planned community located in the heart of Central Florida's busy tourist scene. This gated homeowners association is made up of more than 4,500 homes, most of which have
So you get the idea. It's talking about the neighborhood. We've done this for 20,000 neighborhoods and growing across the country.
Ellos han hecho esto para 20,000 vecindarios a través de la nación y sigue creciendo.
So you will see this on your listings as well currently, if you have a listing active of the neighborhoods that your listings are in.
Así que si tienes un listing activo en la comunidad, toda esa información también va a aparecer como complemento de la información de tu listing.
So now that I'm on the neighborhood page, it's going to give me information as well about the schools and the parks and things to do in the area.
Va a dar información directa de las escuelas, los parques y cosas que se pueden hacer, puntos de interés.
Even things that you necessarily are not able to talk about due to fair housing, such as crime and safety.
Incluso aparece información de crimen y seguridad.
And then we're also going to feature, the members will rotate here throughout. So Oscar will show up, we rotate all members who have done something in that neighborhood will show up as well on the neighborhood pages.
En la página también se van a aparecer los agentes que son miembros en rotación, que son expertos en esa comunidad.
And then going back here to Oscar's listing, you'll see all this information again about the crime score, transportation, environmental factors.
Factores ambientales también aparecen. Interesante.
Mortgage calculator.
Financiera.
And what I will mention also and point out is because Oscar is a member, we're going to have information about him and show his other listings
También va a
at
aparecer
the end of that.
de la gente y todos los listings que esa gente tiene.
Whereas if I go to a non-members listing, back down here,
Ella va a un listing de alguien que no es miembro.
we'll still have all the information of the listing and the neighborhoods and such. However, when I go down at the very end, we're going to recommend other listings, but they're not necessarily her listings.
Cuando termina la página de la presentación del que no es miembro, al final aparecen otros listings recomendados, pero no aparecen los listings del miembro.
What I also want to do is go back now to homes.com and let's just say I'm about to sell my house.
Vamos a suponer que ella ahora va a actuar como una persona que quiere vender su casa.
And I want to find an agent to represent me.
Quiero buscar un agente que me represente.
There is an agent directory here on homes.com.
Hay un directorio de agentes en homes.com.
And you'll see it's also going to remember my prior searches. So since I was just searching Hunters Creek, there's Oscar again.
También va a buscar las búsquedas anteriores que tuvieron en la propiedad y va a salir los preferidos.
I want to put a challenge out there to see how many times we can keep track, how many times we see Oscar's photo as a member popping up throughout our searches.
¿Cuántas veces han visto mi foto?
I did not plan this. It's just because he's a member.
No, yeah, and trust me, it feels like it. Se siente así como si tu foto estuviese donde quiera porque el teléfono no para. And I'm gonna say something in Spanish here. Cuando yo me
Yeah.
inscribí a esto, yo me inscribí el jueves antes de la conferencia. Se pueden imaginar el nivel de estrés que yo tenía en la conferencia de lunes a miércoles porque me estaban llegando leads y estaba en una conferencia. I'm telling them my experience because we started the week before conference.
Yes.
That week, it was crazy the amount of calls that I was getting, and I could not take care of them because I was at the conference.
That was a good problem to have.
Problem, sí. Un
Yeah.
problema bueno.
But the same thing. Let's say I want to find an agent in Orlando, Florida.
Vamos a ponernos-
Everyone with their name in orange have become members.
Todos los miembros que tienen todos los que tienen esa barra anaranjada son miembros y son los primeros que salen cuando el cliente está buscando un agente en Orlando, Florida.
And have done at least one
Yeah,
deal
wait,
in
wait,
Orlando.
scroll up.
Uh-huh.
There, we have Manny. Mira quién salió primero. Look who's first. Francisco. He's in the office right now.
Yes, I
Oh,
worked with
yay.
Francisco.
Manny's our tech
last
guy
week.
in the office today. And if you look
Yes.
on the fourth row, en la cuarta fila tiene a José Cubertier.
Yeah, the top row.
Jose. Oh, you said fourth
yeah.
row. Yes.
No,
Yes.
top row with Manny, you said, right?
Yeah, top row
Yes,
is
we have
Manny
Manny,
Attack, and
Francisco, and Jose. Shout out to all three of you.
Mhm.
See, Homes.com makes you guys famous.
José famoso.
So what I want to point out though is we currently have no non-members on page 1 in Orlando.
Ahora mismo no tienen miembros, non-members en la página 1.
There's Oscar again. I don't know what tally. I think we're at 10 right now. No non-members on page
Mira,
2.
wait, look, there was
Whoop.
Michael right there.
I'll go
Ahí
back.
estaba-
I'll go back. I'll go back.
Ahí estaba Michael también, que es de la oficina, estaba por ahí. Like at the bottom. There, at the bottom, Michael Cruz. He's over there.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Shout out to Michael. And then we're page 3. Okay, halfway down page 3 is when we start showing non-members. So right now in Orlando, if you're, have done deals in Orlando, you may show up halfway down page 3 or it could be page 15. We don't know yet. So in order to be on the top first 2 pages, you're going to have to be a member.
Si no eres miembro, vas a salir de la página 3 en adelante. Hasta ahora.
And don't worry, we constantly are rotating. As you see, Jose now showing up a little higher. We constantly rotate all of our members, so everybody gets a chance to be at the top and so forth. So everyone gets their fair share, but members will always show up before non-members.
Los miembros siempre se van a ver antes que los non-members.
So I want to go back now to the PowerPoint and recap and summarize all this on how this also works to get you more listings from the selling side of things. So we're going to actually look at some of Oscar. Oscar's been gracious enough to share with me some of his reports, but I wanted to show you how all this would work. So when you become a member, you'll have access to a back-end dashboard, and each one of your listings will have a listing performance report. Just to give you a general example, and I'll show you Oscar's here at the end as well. The views before becoming a member versus the views of once you become a member. I think we were at like 10 plus times we saw Oscar's photo through that short little search journey. So the members, as you can see, continually are seen, and I need to pause so you can translate that. I was on a roll there.
Los miembros van a continuar viéndose en el principio. Esta página que ella está mostrando son los analíticos de cómo la visibilidad de nosotros aumenta dentro del website.
We also, it takes about a little more than 30 days. So that's Oscar, you haven't seen your retargeting reports yet, but you will eventually start also seeing where we're going to retarget you.
Ellos van cada 30 días, hacen un retargeting, quiere decir que se enfocan en otro tipo de mercado para poder facilitar el cliente.
So that is a member benefit exclusive. So someone looks at your profile or your listing, and then they go to Facebook or New York Times or Nordstrom.com to do some shopping. They're going to constantly see your face, and Oscar's face will continue to pop everywhere in the listings.
Si alguien va a salir en tu lead, si sale en tu listing, ¿verdad? Si eres miembro y esa persona vio tu listing en internet y después se fue a New York Times, se fue a otra website, a Facebook, en los anuncios también le va a salir el listing tuyo.
You also will be able to show how your listing is performing as a member versus non-member listings.
Va a ver
So
también
you'll be
cómo,
able to see that.
cómo está funcionando tu listing siendo miembro versus los que no son miembros.
This is a great tool to bring to your listing meetings. I know Robert Palmer also mentioned this at the conference. Bring this tool to your listing meetings to get more listings.
Esta herramienta tú la debes utilizar para tus presentaciones de listing para que le muestres a las personas cómo tú vas a estar trabajando para que esos listings se vean.
Because you can show that seller, hey, I'm a member of homes.com. You work with me, I'm going to get your listing advertised on all these platforms.
Tú le dices al cliente, yo soy miembro de homes.com, cuando tenga el listing contigo, todas estas plataformas van a tener tu listing.
You also will have a breakout of how many views are on the neighborhood page, the school page, your profile, and so forth.
Ahí también va a ver cuáles son las personas que están viendo la página del vecindario, la página del listing, etcétera, etcétera.
So 149 million monthly unique visitors. That's where we're sitting right now every month for homes.com.
Ahora mismo están recibiendo 149 millones de visitas mensuales en homes.com.
We are increasing. We're fastest growing real estate portal out there. Other sites are actually declining in their year-over-year unique visitors.
Son uno de los únicos websites que está mostrando crecimiento en los pasados años en comparación con otros que están mostrando un desliz, un declive.
We have double the traffic of realtor.com
Han duplicado el tráfico de realtor.com
and triple that of Redfin.
y triplicado el de Redfin.
Zillow is actually on a decline and we're on an incline, an increase of visibility.
Sí lo he estado decreciendo y homes.com ha estado subiendo.
A lot of this has to do with the marketing campaign we launched. Yes, investing over, you read that right, $1 billion into this marketing campaign.
Sí, no sé si han visto esta campaña de mercadeo, pero se invirtieron billones de dólares.
And that's because, as I mentioned earlier, CoStar, 40 years behind us, we definitely have the capital to invest this.
Ahora mismo ellos tienen el capital de invertirlo sin problema.
So we ran 4 commercials. I'm going to go ahead and play one just in case anyone hasn't seen it yet.
So, I hear some of you are concerned about the fact that I'm taking over the company from my great uncle. Well, rest assured, company's in great hands. Hit the vid, Marcy.
Now?
Yeah, now. We're bringing together the nation's agents in a super comprehensive agent directory.
You know he bought a helicopter.
Gathering up close, detailed info on neighborhoods. And hiring top experts to get you insider info on local schools.
What y'all think? Smash or not?
Nah.
You got Wheezy for this?
Exciting, right?
Now, who want to see what 100 G's look like?
Homes.com. We've done your homework. Now that is worth celebrating.
I love it.
Thank you.
Homework. Very clever. Very clever.
So I don't know if anyone's seen the apartments commercials, but that's Jeff Goldblum at the very end to tie in the connection there.
No sé si alguien ha visto los comerciales para que tengan la conexión de cómo están funcionando.
So we're not stopping. As Oscar mentioned earlier, if you heard him, we are running these commercials everywhere. We're not stopping. Cable TV, morning, evening, podcasts, everywhere.
Sí, ellos salen mañana, tarde, noche, televisión, network television, podcast, donde quiera.
So that makes you think, not only do agents know about this, but your sellers and your future seller clients also know about homes.com.
Los clientes actuales lo saben y los clientes futuros también saben, conocen este website.
We also are #1 in paid search and over 25 million residential keywords.
Son el número 1 en 25 millones de palabras residenciales en búsquedas de Google.
And the reason we're doing all this is to put the agent back where you belong on your listing, not having to compete for your listing.
Y todo esto, la idea es poner el agente de vuelta a su listing para que no tengas que competir con tu listing.
So in summary here, with the membership, you're going to go from the bottom and be up there and join the likes and ranks of Oscar and Jose and Manny and everyone else that we saw along the way. You'll be up there near at the top of searches. Along with your listing, we'll also sort higher, as we saw. And also your agent profile page will be seen. Here's examples of the retargeting.
Así es, esto es un ejemplo del retargeting. Se vería, por ejemplo, en estas páginas Gizmodo, CNN, se vería de esta manera.
You're going to get about 40 times more visibility than if you were not a member.
Va a tener 40 veces más visibilidad que si no fueran miembros.
And then agent profile, same thing.
Y el profile del cliente también, de la misma forma.
You can see the retargeting there as well.
Ahí pueden ver el retargeting.
So in summary here, members can expect to be seen by 530,000 people a month.
Los miembros se pueden ver 388 veces más que la gente básico.
Where basic agents or non-members, 1,367 or so people a month.
Y los otros agentes pues se van a ver en mucha menor escala. 1,300 veces.
As far as views, members can expect about 1.4 million plus views a month.
En cuestión de los miembros pueden ver 1,422,000 veces más al mes.
And about non-members, about 7,800 or so.
Y los no miembros, 7,825.
And this is collectively. So this is for all your listings, your profile page, everything as a total.
Esto es colectivo de todas las páginas, el retargeting, el listing, el perfil, todo junto.
Then if that could essentially equate to about 6.5 leads a month.
Eso equivale aproximadamente a 6.6 leads al mes.
Now, we always like to keep expectations low and hopefully exceed them.
Siempre queremos tener expectativas bajas y posiblemente excederlas.
And Oscar is doing that. So.
Oh yeah, it's not 6. Definitivamente no son 6.
So this is a screenshot from his dashboard of each of his listings.
Este es el dashboard de mis listings.
I don't know if you can see this very well, but let me see if I can zoom in here. His one listing's gone over 330,000 views. Some of them are 1,000, some they run the gamut. This one's 663,000 views. You get the idea. It ranges, but either way, and he's only been a member for 3 weeks.
Solamente he sido miembro por 3 semanas y estas son las vistas que han tenido mis listings.
Here. This is also his Texas Avenue listing. This one, you can see when he became a member agent right here, March 1st.
Marzo 1 fue cuando me hice agente.
He got a little bit of views actually back on February 22nd as a non-member, but it was pretty dead.
Sí, al principio en febrero yo no era miembro y tuve ese 22 tuve unas cuantas vistas.
And then you can just continue to see he's getting pretty consistent. He has some spikes, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent on the views he's getting. It's been seen by 1,681 consumers, non-agents so far.
Ahora mismo lo han visto 1,681 consumidores.
This listing alone has gotten 4 leads.
Este listing ha creado 4 leads.
And then this is his profile. So his page, when we're looking in the profile directory.
Este es el profile page.
430,364 views. I think he needs to start signing autographs.
Ay, yo no sabía esa. I didn't know that one, guys.
Surprise.
Surprise.
430,000 personas han visto mi perfil profesional en homes.com.
And you can see that all pretty much happened once he became a member.
Y todo eso comenzó cuando comencé a ser miembro.
And then this is also a screenshot of all his leads he's gotten starting, we see from March 3rd, I was able to capture all the way up to March 19th. We said as a member, I think it was 6 leads.
Mm-hmm.
We got 22.
Yeah, it wasn't 6. No.
As I said, 6 is what we pretty much, we never guarantee, but what you could expect, right? And your Oscar are, you know, of your membership, it's definitely way more than that. So this is just a great example of some results you can see.
Estos son algunos ejemplos de los resultados que pueden tener.
So essentially with the membership, you get all that visibility. If this is something you're interested in, I can share my contact information.
Si
and
esto
we
es
can
algo
go
que les-
over that individually.
Si esto es algo que les interesa hacer, pueden ver la información de contacto de Ashley y se pueden comunicar directamente con ella.
So I'm really quick going to say my information, but Oscar, I think you said you would email it out as well.
Yeah.
But I'll give my cell number real quick. My cell is probably the best way to reach me. You can call, text me. If I don't answer, leave a message, as I'm probably talking to one of your wonderful colleagues, getting them a membership at that time. But it's 689
689
333
333
1992.
1992.
And then I'll have Oscar send out my email as well.
Yeah. Y para los que están en la oficina, voy a poner un QR code para que pongan su información ahí si les interesa. Así que denme un segundo que voy a subir el QR code ahora. Voy a poner también un link en el chat del Zoom para que entonces también las personas que estén interesadas puedan registrarse ahí. This QR code, if they're in the office, they can just scan it and it will fill out the information and I'll get it to
Oh, cool. I've never seen
Awesome.
that. Very
also
neat.
I'm also putting that link on the chat box so that they can fill it out because they cannot scan the QR code. They're on the phones.
Okay.
Were there any questions that came in?
¿Alguien tiene alguna duda o alguna pregunta? El precio, I'm going to talk a little bit about pricing. El
Okay.
precio tiene que ver con la cantidad de leads, transacciones que tienes en el MLS. ¿Ok? Dependiendo tu cantidad de transacciones, ellos
Past
pueden
3 years.
mensuar
so
en
you
los
know.
pasados
Yeah.
3 años. ¿Ok? Así que eso sería individual. All right.
Oscar, ¿y si no tenemos lead? ¿Y si no tenemos listing?
No, si ellos van a ver las transacciones que tienen en el MLS. No los listings.
Okay.
And if you haven't done anything, if you're just starting out, it's okay. You still can get a membership. It's a great way to advertise yourself, especially in the agent directory.
Si no tienes listing o eres un agente nuevo y eres miembro, obviamente el pago mensual va a ser menor, pero también vas a tener tu página profesional que otros clientes van a poder verte.
Perfect.
Alright.
We didn't have any other questions or anything in the chat, or we're good?